Hi guys, welcome back. So we finally have the end of the Six Nations 2020 in sight. It would have been a brilliant Six Nations if it hadn't been for lockdown in the middle. It's actually set up perfectly. I mean, last week Ireland beat Italy by just the right number of points to set up a very finely balanced finish. They probably wanted a few more points, but I think they did pretty well. They've got a plus 23 points difference. Ireland on 14 points, England 13 there, France 13. England and France fairly similar points difference. I'll put the top of the table there for you to have a look at. And it is between these three really. I know there's a few other scenarios that could happen, but it's between those three. Probably mainly Ireland and England. I'm going to go through who I think is going to win and why. But first of all, the first game on Saturday, I mean, the order's perfect. We've got Wales, Scotland, then Italy, England, and then France, Ireland. France, Ireland being the one that's probably the most tense, the most closely fought, as in there's something on the line there. So a perfect order. Wales versus Scotland, well, is it a dead rubber? I don't know. I mean, you could say there's nothing to lose for both of them, but if Wales lose again, then that's really starting to get quite down on their motivation. I mean, it's early days, they're trying new systems, new coach, a few new players, I get it, but still, they'll want to end their winning streak there, sorry, their losing streak. Scotland, again, I keep going on about it, I really do think they've got the best lineup I've seen in the modern era of potential, but as you guys always comment below, potential's one thing, they've got to win, they've got to get results, so maybe not such a dead rubber in the big context of these two nations. And also I'd like to say how amazing have your comments been over the last couple of weeks. Even people commenting saying how good your comments are. So hats off to you guys. It's a great place to comment. If very rarely there's someone abusive there, I block them straight away. So it really is one of the best places to comment and talk about rugby. So get commenting, that's fantastic. But yeah, I mean, Scotland were impressive versus Georgia, but Georgia weren't at the races particularly. They weren't looking particularly sharp. I'm sure they'll get better. So Wales is a big test for them. And Wales, unfortunately, their attack wasn't quite firing. They were resorting to a kicking game, but they weren't catching the kicks. They weren't retaking contested balls. That wasn't working that great. And the defensive line, yeah, it was shooting up. It was hooking in, but there were plenty of spaces and a couple of offloads, and France were away. So that wasn't working either. So Wales got, pretty much all parts of their game to work on. Scotland got that potential, sorted out their front row really. Their pack's looking more competitive, more danger in the back line. Can Finn Russell fire and not make mistakes? Can he, really execute? So, the potential's there. I would probably edge a Scotland win, 60-40 percentage chance, but I wouldn't be surprised if Wales got it together. Let me know your thoughts below. Anyway, getting to the business end, England have a great chance of winning this competition for sure. So, here's how I see it. Now, they probably have to win against Italy with a bonus point if they're going to beat France. Even if France win with a bonus point, then hopefully England would have scored more than they would have in their bonus point victory. The points difference would have been greater. So England should have a better points difference. So they need to get that bonus point just to make sure. Because if France do win against Ireland, which they're at home, they're playing great. They may well do. France are incredibly capable of scoring 4 or more tries. It could be a high-scoring game actually. So England want to win with a bonus point. And the fact that France, I would say, are slight favourites gives. I would say England have got the best chance of winning the Six Nations, even though, it's in Ireland's hands as such. I mean, if France win without a bonus point, let's say, it's probably not going to be enough either, even if England don't win, if they win, without a bonus point against Italy, you would expect England's points margin to be slightly higher than France's over Ireland, so I think France have got it quite tough there, but they are finishing at home and they are playing fantastically well. Very exciting. Now Ireland obviously have to beat France, And here's the thing, France score so freely, Ireland are probably going to have to score 4 or more tries to beat France, therefore they would get the bonus point win and take the Six Nations. So you could argue if Ireland win, they're going to win the Six Nations because they're going to have to score a bonus point to win. Do you see my point? And if Ireland take the Six Nations, it's incredibly well deserved because going to France and beating them at any time is good, especially now as they're building into one of their best teams potentially. I think I've seen Clive Woodward's already tipped them to win the World Cup, which isn't that much of an outside bet, to be honest, because it's at home. And, you know, they're clearly building one of the best teams they've had for a while, and they actually seem to be pulling in the same direction. Anyway, that's my prediction. I'd say England are the favourites to win the Six Nations. Ireland, if they beat France, they will win the Six Nations because they're going to need a bonus point. France are going to need a lot of things to go their way. And what do you think's on the line for Wales and Scotland? Who's got the most to gain and lose? Anyway, guys, I will catch you later this week.